Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going over the Century Arms C39 rifle that you see here. It is a US made milled AK variant. Got a lot of unique features on there. The stock is different, the pistol grip's different, mag release enhanced, different rear sight, and a different front sight than what we're used to out there. But most importantly, we're going to get into, does it work? Does it shoot well? And can you trust it? But it comes in at a great price point, generally under $700 here in the US. And really one of the first AK variant US made rifles that's achieved some level of success. So what we're going to do here is keep shooting it and then get into why that probably is. So that's what's coming up today, guys. Moving on to some of the details of the rifle, we'll start back here at the stock. It is a laminate wood finish, and the wood itself comes from Vermont. Obviously, it has excellent finish, good fit as well, where it meets up with the receiver. It is a obviously two-tang designed stock, so any two-tang milled stocks will fit it if you do want to actually change yours out eventually. It does have a spring swivel down here on the bottom as well, and it's roughly Warsaw length, something I like. And on a lot of milled guns, they tend to have longer butt stocks, so this one doesn't have that. It's personal preference really, but I do prefer this length stock. The grip's very similar to what Century is putting on all their Yugo imports for 922R compliance. It does have the finger grooves, and it is a little bit larger in your hand than your classic AK peg grip. I like it in terms of a aftermarket grip. I have no problems with it at all. It has decent ergonomics and has good texturing as well to get a grip on there. Moving over to the trigger, it is a Tapco trigger, which is excellent trigger. Nice smooth break. It breaks cleanly, right at about 4 pounds. You can see the take up here. Nice break. And has a nice reset with no trigger slap. The magazine release on the rifle is oversized to allow for easier mag changes. And when you have the mag in there, one thing you'll notice, there's very little mag wobble at all with your standard surplus magazines. In terms of fit and finish, the rifle, in my opinion, is excellent, with one flaw, and what you're looking at here is that flaw. The rifle is parkerized. It's parkerized throughout, and it has a nice even parkerization, with the exception of the safety. That's not an illusion there. The safety is a slightly different color than the rest of the gun. It's a minor nitpicky kind of thing, but if you're looking for fit and finish excellence, if they fix that, they'd have it. Disassembly of the rifle is standard AK. You just put the rifle on fire, push the button here on the back of the receiver, pull your top cover off, pull your spring out, pull back in your bolt carrier group. And one thing I want to point out there is, as you probably noticed as I was pulling it out, the bolt carrier itself is lightened for just an overall lighter weapon. You can take a look here and you can see the carrier, it's milled. Obviously Century makes all this stuff in-house as well, and just take a look at there. There is really no machining marks on there at all. Very, very well finished machine work there. Take a look inside the receiver. Again, you notice that Tapco trigger, as I mentioned earlier. Take a look at the lines there as well on the receiver. This rifle here has about 800 rounds through it, and you can see very minimal wear on there. That's indication that the rifle is, in my opinion, put together well and has good tolerances as it's being put together, because parts aren't excessively rubbing. So very clean lines, not a lot of machine marks in there. Really nothing to complain about there. As far as the receiver, you can take a look here. It has nice lightning cuts on there. And on the other side of the receiver, you'll see here it does have the USA flag, made in the USA, and it is made from one piece, solid piece of billet 4140 steel. The rear sight does have your standard ladder to engage targets at different distances like most AKs. However, this rear sight also has the windage elevation, or windage adjustment I should say, on there. Now, to change the windage on your rifle when you're actually zeroing it, you just loosen this set screw here, move this left or right to change your windage, change your point of impact, and then tighten down that set screw. Now, if there was one thing I'd like to see changed on this rifle, this would probably be it. Now, I have never had this problem because I Loctited mine down, but folks out there have said their screw has come loose on their rifle, and it's come out during firing. So again, I've never had it because I've Loctited it. I absolutely recommend that once you get your zero, you Loctite it down with some blue Loctite. However, I really just think the standard AK sights are very durable, very proven design, with the front sight being windage adjustable. So maybe if they come out with a Gen 2, they'll make that change. Just like the stock, the handguards have that laminate finish, and these are available in several different colors. I believe the wood is available in brown, which is what you see here, blonde, and a gray version that's out there as well. And they do have a nice palm swell in there, which you guys can probably see looking down on it from the top. Fills your hand up well, gives you a good purchase there on the rifle. The gas block on the rifle is ventilated to let the gas escape after it comes through your gas port here. A lot of folks really like that for some reason. Really, I'm not sure why. I don't have an opinion on it either way. However, if you're one of the folks that likes that, well, there you go. Also, on the front of the rifle, you'll notice there is no bayonet lug. Now, Century did that to be able to sell the rifle in banned states where those bayonet lugs are banned by name in the laws of those states. So I like to see one, but I do understand why they did it, just for cost and manufacturing cost to keep it low, just one across the board. On the opposite side, there is that sling attachment point to go along with the sling attachment point on the stock of the rifle for those of you guys that are going to run slings on your rifles. The muzzle is threaded for 14mm threads, and it will take any standard AK 14mm muzzle devices. However, it does come with this one that you see on there. It's vented on top to let the gases go out, and somewhat back as you're firing to keep your muzzle on track and prevent that muzzle from climbing on you under rapid fire. One nice thing about the C39 being all American made is you can put any brake on there you want and not have to worry about 922R compliance. So you see here we have the SRPV jet brake on here from Russia. Excellent brake, and it's no penalty under the law. The rifle does come with 2 Tapco magazines, so again, all US made, but just like that brake you just saw, you can put any magazine you want in there, and again, not have to worry about 922R compliance, which is certainly a good thing. Getting onto the barrel, which is obviously going to be one of the most contentious parts of any AK review, particularly one that's got a US made barrel. The barrel on this rifle is made of 4140 chrome moly steel. It's chrome lined, 1 in 10 twist rate, and with the Red Army standard with the brass case stuff I was putting through there with open sights, I was able, while bearing down, to get about 2.5 inch to 3 inch groups consistently. That's with open sights. Again, my guess is if you actually were able to mount an optic on this does not have an optics rail, unfortunately, but if you're able to mount an optic on there, maybe a scout type optic, I'm guessing you can get that down right around 2 to 2.5 inch groups pretty consistently with good ammo. So really not a whole lot to complain about there. Granted, it's not a cold hammer forged barrel, but it doesn't cost $1,000 or really more like the milk guns that are coming in with those barrels have. So how important that is to you, you guys are going to have to decide. But like I mentioned in the video earlier, this rifle's coming to market under $700 pretty much everywhere. Some places it's coming to market under $600, at least in today's market. So you're getting a milled gun with a very good fit and finish, USA made, and it functions excellent. I've had one malfunction out of 800 rounds. It was on the second round fired from the gun, and was with a US Palm mag, for those of you guys wondering. It was just a failure to feed. I cycled the action, and in what, 798 rounds since, it's not had a single malfunction. So I'll say it's definitely reliable, and on that one we may just have to blame the newness of the gun. But all in all, great gun. I've had nothing but good things to say about it, except for what I mentioned earlier. And for the money, it just can't be beat if you're looking to get into a milled gun in today's market. If you guys have any questions about this video or anything else I talk about here in the channel, you can always post below in the comments section. You can also post over at my Facebook page. As always though, guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and hope to see you in the next video.